All right, we have our second presentation of the evening, Corinne Heck and Isabella Johnston with Details Flowers.
All right. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'm so excited to be here today. This is such an honor for me to represent Details Flowers for this wonderful award. And we have really been working at it for a very long time. And to be at this stage, at this time, and in this moment, I feel very excited for all of you to hear about the opportunity that presents itself. So, this is me. I'm a wedding and event florist. I have been in the event and wedding industry for the last 12 years, and I've owned an event design studio in Daytona Beach, Florida. And prior to this, I've worked in the import industry, selling flowers across the country to wholesalers. I've also worked for different boutiques throughout the United States and mainly in Tallahassee, Florida. But I've been in the flower industry for over 20 years. And I have done over 800 weddings, if you can believe it. And I deal with some pretty savvy clients, as you can imagine, because this is their very special day, and it has to be picture perfect every single time. And over this time, I've learned that there were a lot of struggles within this industry. I struggled with time. I struggled with writing contracts. I struggled with ordering flowers. And this was a problem that I had to solve to do my business better. This is my events today. This is an event that I did on January 2nd of this year. My client came to me with a $100,000 budget for her wedding. She gave me 6 weeks' time, and in the moment I gave her her contract, I knew the profits and margins as related to this event. I knew every flower, every bloom, every vase, every detail for this wedding, and she booked me on the spot. And this happens every single time. So this is why florists are coming to Details Flowers, because we help them create beautiful proposals for their clients. We help them calculate their needs for all these events. We save them hours and hours of time. What used to take me 20 hours to do to write a contract for a wedding, I can now do in 20 minutes. That's making my customer 60 times more productive. And I'm boosting their sales because when those brides meet with them, they can sign that job on the spot. And that's increased revenue for them. So how does it work? Well, Details is quick, easy, and simple. And I have a short demonstration video of my product. Thank you. Oh, it skipped. I apologize. All right, so this is our dashboard. When the florist logs in, they can see their client, all the information about their event, and they can make logs and notes so that they know their interactions. When they pull up their event, they're able to import important information as far as times, locations, and the vendors that they're working with. We have a blooms and greeneries catalog so that when you're meeting with a bride, you can show them the colors of their event and the season of the flowers that are available, and you no longer have to be a walking encyclopedia of flowers. So this is really helpful. You can star those items and it will add to the client's design board. You can also show them items from your portfolio. So if you wanted to search for a recipe that has an anemone in it, you can show them the hundreds of bouquets that you've done in the past that may have an anemone in them. You can star them so that you can reference them later or import them from Pinterest. And you can open up these designs and see all the flowers that are inside of them. So this is a great reference tool of designs you've done in the past. From there, you can open up your design worksheet, and in just a quick step, you can drag and drop these items right into a contract. So there's no more mistakes as far as what do I need for this event. You can change the blooms, and as you change the blooms, it changes the prices. The magic is happening in the back end though, because it's calculating every stem that you will need. So now we know the exact order that you will need for this event, and when you call your wholesaler to buy it, you'll know exactly what you need. And just like that, you can print up a contract. So you can literally do this in about 5 minutes and sign that job right there on the spot. It has pictures, it has ideas, it has all the information. You don't have to type up anything. It is right there for their convenience.
So you might be asking, what are our customers saying about us? We have 3 of the customers right up here so that you can actually see. What they tell us is it makes them more efficient. It makes them look more professional because they can turn a quote around really super fast, but the efficiency factor is huge for them, and that's why they really are loving this. How big is the wedding flower market? There are over 2 million weddings that happen nationally throughout the United States. And that means that there are 26,000, the average wedding cost is 26,000, a little bit over it for most brides, and that equates to 8 to 14% of flowers, just flowers being spent alone on that wedding. That comes to $4 billion spent on wedding flowers. And now, how do we make money? It is a subscription-based model. $99 a month for the florist, yep. And we are looking to expand to merchant and payment fees. And then Details Flowers, that makes us the leading flower provider for wedding industries.
So we bring customer lifetime value to our florists. For every event that they submit into our site, they'll have a little bit more information about their buying history, what they've spent before. The more time that they invest into our program makes the product more valuable on its own because they are not going to want to go to spend more time on adding it to another program. Our database is very sophisticated. You can pull reports of different things that you've done. You can also look at past prices so that every time you buy a flower, you'll know that you are getting the best price. As our customers grow, so will we. We have, at this time, have a 92.5% retention rate for our florists. So for every client that signs up, we've had them have longevity with them. And for every client, I love the clicker. I love animation, y'all. You know, it makes it more fun. One customer equates to $6,000 over 5 years, plus whatever we do on merchant sales. So we're really looking to get those contracts as an e-sign so that when they present this to their customer, we'll be able to retain a small percentage of the sale. So who is our customer or our competition, you may be wondering? There's a big company out there called Honeybook. They are going after the entire wedding industry. They are really competing with a large network called Wedding Wire that has started the merchant processing for these contracts. What we're looking to do is, Honeybooks has raised $30 million. But they do not help a florist at all. They do not help them with sourcing their product. They don't help them with historical data. They are not doing any kind of calculations. They're helping them write a proposal. So there's a company called Eularis. They have 121 Facebook followers. They're very small. They focus on stem counting and proposals, but they do not have any historical data. They don't offer any recipes, some portfolio collaboration, some tools that would really help a florist do their job better. And that goes for Lubilu and also Stem Counter. These are our competition right now. So my goal is to get my product to market and take these guys out of the way. We also have a patent pending on our product, so I'm really excited about that. And my attorney that wrote it went to Harvard. I know we have a Harvard. You are the Harvard guy. I like smart people doing my, oh, and this one too. I like really smart people doing my homework, and she was one of my brides, but she's a knockout.
So you might be also wondering, how have we gone out to market? We kept it really, really simple. We followed a bootstrapping method, and so we kept all of the costs down. We've been doing it through all of the social media, typical social media outreach, a newsletter, and then also advertising in industry-specific publications. We are looking at having partnerships, and we've had some discussions. And then we are also going to be expanding more into the trade shows that specifically target these floral markets. Today, tomorrow, and the future, what does it look like? Well, right now we have 37 clients, and notice we have one in pink in Hawaii, so all the pink are our 37 clients. Our goal is by the end of this year to have 360 clients, and by the end of 2 years to have 3,600 clients. That comes to a $32.5 billion flower industry. That little pink piece that's up there, that's our piece of the pie that we're going after. And there are over 35,000 retail florists in the country.
So you might wonder, what does the flower supply chain look like? Flowers are grown in South America, Holland, Peru, and they are then imported into our country. They're sold to wholesalers who then sell it to retail florists. So these people are all depending on retail florists to do their job and make those sales. Or if you're planning a wedding or a corporate event or, God forbid, a sympathy arrangement, you're going to call your retail florist as well. So they're also dependent on them. Or maybe you reach out to FTD and Teleflora or 1-800-Flowers. Well, they're all dependent on our market segment that we're going after. And guess what? No one is helping them do their job. They don't realize the complexity of some of these events. And until Details came along, no, we are the solution. for this whole problem. So we have a few exit strategies. We've really been trying to think about how we're positioned, and we're perfectly positioned to be sold by any of these larger companies that fit into the whole industry. Honeybook and Wedding Wire, I think, are one. They would be very interested in the technology that we have created. Another is FTD Teleflora or 1-800-Flowers. They are not sourcing product, they're just order gatherers, and they're sending it to these florists. If they could obtain more of this niche industry, they'll be very interested. And then our other is partnering with a national wholesale distributor to eventually buy us out. We're adding so much data, insight, and sales forecasts to these people. And just today, I drove like by the speed of lightning because I had a meeting with the largest wholesaler in the entire country, and he is now part of my advisory board, which I will get to on a few slides.
So our details team, Corinne Heck, who is the founder and the owner and creator of this great software, she has over 20 years. While it says 20 years, it's really 30 years. She started when she was a baby, just so you know. She has also worked in the internet industry with flowers and also had a brick and mortar building for 12 years over in the Daytona, Volusia area. And she has also done over 800 weddings, as she had shared previously. Mike Bethany, he is the CTO for the company. He is the one that has made all of this magic happen for us on the website and in the software. He has 16 years in software development, and he is a artistic design. He specializes in artistic design, intelligent workflow, and inventive puzzle solving. So if you ever got a ticket and you were on the Orange County Expressway, he also helped design that, so you can thank Mike for that. And then there's myself. I am the Chief Marketing Officer, and so I have 11 years of marketing. I've worked in business and in marketing for many years, primarily in the nonprofit side, but also for the last 11 years in the for-profit industry. So our financial goals. Our goal is to do an ask of $500,000 for an angel investment. We have a goal of capturing 3,600 florists, which is 10% of the market share, and then at the end of year 2, and then that equates to $360,000 a month in the subscription-based model.
So how would we spend this money? Well, obviously we are going to add an e-signature component so that we can help these florists sell this product faster to their clients and also obtain that merchant processing. We're going to grow our sales team right now. It's just a few of us, and I have a few interns that have been working with me, but I really need a larger team. And we're going to build a community. So when florists are going online, they're going to be able to share their inspirations, their designs, and they're going to know our brand. And we're going to do this through trade shows and different marketing. We really want more market exposure. This is my current board of advisors. Dr. William Andrews from Stetson University has been helping me for the last 3 years. He's professor of management and strategic management at Stetson University. Connie Bernal, who is my UCF business advisor, and I just love Connie. She is a great coach and mentor. OG Perryman Odestade Service Corporation, they're my first angel investor, and they are in the cold storage manufacturing. So for all the big produce companies, Target, Dole, Trader Joe's, they build their cooler systems. Jason Meyer has been a great advisor of mine and mentor. He was just a winner of the Bright House Regional, and he's been helping me for the last few months, and it's just such an inspiration as a young investor advisor. Kevin Manley is an exit strategist. He actually sold his company for $700 million with Yes Mail. So he's been really putting into my back of my brain about how important it is to have an exit strategy and build your company with this goal in mind. Sherry Myers, who's a great friend, she is one of the top 10 cake bakers in the country, and she is huge in the wedding industry and has just been really advising me as far as how we go. And just today I added Pat Dawson, who's the CEO of Mayesh Wholesale. They have 17 wholesale distribution offices in the United States. They do over $70 million of business, and I talked to him today about how we are going to take this to market with his company, because he has customers and customers on top of customers that would want what I have. Finally, what does the future look like for us? Well, it's partnering with a local wholesaler distributor. We're going to help them forecast their sales. They're not going to get an order 2 weeks before they need it for that event. They're going to get it 6 months prior. They're going to make that sale in the moment that my customer signs that contract. It's going to create a marketplace, and we're also going to boost these sales for them. So if I can help them even expand their business by a bit, they're going to love us. Thank you. This is a styled shoot that I do. I bring flowers with me everywhere that I go, which is a bonus, you know. But I have this as a trivia for the judges. Whoever guesses closest to the retail price that I would sell this for is taking it home tonight. So I expect a bid from all of you. No, thank you. Thank you.
So leadoff question, Honeybook,
Yes.
they raised 30 million. They must do something well.
You would think so, but all of their floral customers are calling me, and I think I've only raised $80,000, and look what I've done, and why are they coming to me when you've raised $30 million? So I'm pretty excited about that. I know I'm on the radar. I know they know who I am. And it's just, they don't offer a service to the florists. They're selling to florists, but they're also selling to DJs. They're selling to cake bakers. They're just making them a pretty contract and having a button at the bottom that says pay now. And they're going after the $100 billion wedding industry, which is definitely, you know, or is horizontal that we could go for. I mean, I have DJs that are using my site to put all of their inventory of their lights, like this lighting equipment. They could put it in there, drag it into a contract, print a button. So I know it's there, but flowers are a hot commodity. It dies. Like flowers die. These have a shelf life. You have to buy them again. So that's where my brain goes.
Do you know when they raised the 30 million?
Probably, I believe it's this year, in the last 12 months. So I've been following that very closely. I have a Crunchbase account. I'd love for it to be a little more exciting. So.
Corinne, nice job.
Thank you.
And nice job also on the focus. I mean, we've talked a number of times, and you've gotten a lot more focus. You wanted to be a supplier in this business. Now you're providing the software, and I think it's the right answer. One of the things I didn't get was how you market to your customers. You talked a little bit about Isabel. You talked a little bit about how you were getting there, but I don't see enough of it. And how do you do more of it? How are you getting in front of more and more florists? Also, and then one more piece of that question: florist industry is a pretty difficult industry, and there's probably not a lot of money around to throw at a nice idea or something else that might help. I don't know if even the florists themselves spend enough time thinking about how we can make the business better. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of competition. So take me through a little bit on marketing. What is your real plan on distribution, taking the product to market? How are you going to support it, as well as a little bit about the customer themselves and how they buy product like this?
Yeah, it's. I'll answer this and then I'll let you finish off. But we've started with just going to Facebook, and that's really where I've started, is looking at how the florists are interacting. So I've joined almost every floral group that is on the internet, and I just listen to them. I've been listening and watching and kind of seeing what is it that they need. And time again, they'll post a picture. How much does this cost? So I'll plug that information into my picture. They'll post a picture. What should I charge for this? And I'll get 20 signups right in that moment. How can I get some more information about this? So I know the need is there. As far as marketing, I'm going to let Isabella take this one.
So we were looking at a number of different strategies, one of them being staying with the social strategy. Corinne has a really great video that she's been able to put out to market, and it really has captured a lot of interest when people have seen the video, because they go, oh my gosh, I want to have this program. And so we've developed a trial basis where we had a beta test, and we were utilizing $50 a month for a trial basis. Now it's going to be going back up to, the full price will be $99 a month. And they will still be able to try it out for 30 days to be able to test it out as the hook. After they've been using it for that long, we know that they're going to fall in love with it, and they will be able to take advantage of the price that will stay locked in there for them. We're looking at a referral program also, so that if somebody else is saying, hey, I love this program, you have to try it out, then they would be coming in underneath that referral program. Newsletters, and that would be a part of our pull strategy, is being able to have Corinne as the expert, the subject matter expert out there, and people can ask her questions, would be a part of the other strategy, and the trade shows.
And to add to that, I feel like getting those partnerships with the different wholesalers because they already have their customers. You know, they have the customers. They just need more business. So, for example, in Maish's case, they aren't hitting the Midwest at all. They don't have a distribution center there. So all the customers that I have managed to gain over this last little bit, which it's more than 10, it's 37, just to mention that, is of strong interest to them because they're finding that I'm fulfilling a need that they don't currently have, and it's very exciting to them to see that there's still innovation in an industry that is really not had much vision as far as what they should be doing to better serve their customer. So I feel like that if I can get more partnerships and more wholesalers that are interested, that's a customer base there that I have not even reached. I do have 4,000 florists, and we've been sending out regular MailChimp campaigns, which has been a pretty low-cost mechanism to get a lot of return interest.
Is this a software as a service?
Yes.
And how are you hosting it, or what platform is it on, et cetera?
We've written it in Ruby on Rails is what our program is in. There's Ubuntu. I am not as well versed, and I know that I need to know the languages, but I really leave that to my chief technical officer because they're the brilliance behind it. I just say, this is what we need. Let's get this done.
Just
And
looking for the server, or who's hosting the server for you?
it's DigitalOcean.
Right, so, I mean, it can work for one customer or 100 customers on a server, but if you get 1,000 customers or 10,000, I mean, you're talking about a lot of florists, and you want a big piece of the market.
Right.
I mean, you know, how scalable is it? And
Well, it's very, very scalable, and I would love someone like John that has definitely worked in these type of marketplaces and, you know, knows a lot about making sure that the methods that we have currently used, that they can attain a lot of attention, because that traction is really important for us to be able to make this fly. You know, we're really trying to make it really speedy, really fast, so that there's not a lot of downtime. I know that's been really important, and that was one of the points when I was showing my product today to such an important people, that how fast our product was. So I know that with Mike's expertise, he is really brilliant. I'm sure a lot of people in this room have got a ticket from just because of him. So, and how good he is at what he does.
My question is, what is patentable about this?
It's a system and methodology for managing events. So that the way that we have designed it, the whole procedures in which we're helping them calculate this, and the way that they're able to set forth their percentages, their markups. I mean, technology is really hard to get patentable. So
Exactly, that's why I'm asking.
And I knew it was an expense out front, but everybody told me, you have to do it. You have to take the risk to make this patentable, and to go forth in those steps, because the value behind that IP was so important. So yeah, I might not get it. It might just be something that they say, yeah, it's not patentable because I know how tough it is. But if I get it, then that's a lot. So I'm hoping to have that piece of paper, and then when other people try to do this, then we'll say, you can't do this. We got this.
Yeah, same. Well, first of all, congrats again.
Thank you.
And thanks. Very nice presentation. Really quickly, you're looking for 500K in the next round.
Yeah.
Is that what I saw there? Is that the next angel, the next seed round that you're looking for? And at what valuation?
The deal that I looked at today was I would like to get $4 million, and I pitched it to them with 500,000 cash and then 3.5 in their company. So I mean, that is a really high valuation of like $20 million. But I totally think it's there. I think it's there for what we're looking for. It's a really tough question. I mean, I know that's up for discussion because I only have 37 customers. I know that is not equivalent. The math is not there, but I do think the value is there. And the more customers that I reach, the higher that valuation will rise each and every day. So that's what I'm shooting for.
You mentioned your database. I'm going to ask about the network effect. In other words, the more customers you have, the more data in the database, the more depth you have, the more value to the customers.
Right.
Working that backwards, do you have a challenge of getting enough initial customers so that that value is there for them to be happy?
For every time they add an event, that adds more value and data that we can look at and also see where people's buying habits are throughout the United States. So that's one of the values that we bring.
Is there a magic spot in terms of when we've had this many events through this many of our florist customers, we're really strong and powerful?
I guess I don't understand the question. I apologize. I don't. Can you repeat?
Is your
the question?
database weak today because you haven't had enough events yet?
Oh, I don't think so. Every time someone adds an event, I mean, I have florists that have added already 150 events into our database, and we have 37. So you can equate to see how fast that grows. Every time they drag a flower in, that can be a new event. So we're looking at all these statistics, all these numbers, and that's great information for our wholesalers as well, because they can see what their competitors potentially are selling the product for so that they can enter a new market and they can say, you know, if we came in just a little bit more, we're going to get that sale. And if their product is superior, I mean, that's really, I'm looking for a standard of excellence. So that's why I picked this one.
So can you, oh, we're out of time, I guess. We're out of time. Are there any other questions? Well, I did have one.
Last one.
I'm showing 30,
Last
31. Oh, okay. Thank you, guys. Did you want to make any bids on the flowers?
$100. $100, but
$100. Okay, it costs more than that.
I was gonna guess 100 too.
I'm an auctioneer now.
175.
What do you? If you were to send that to your wife,
Well, we can't see what it is.
Best flower she's ever got.
including the vase, it's going away to.
Oh, 250.
Best flowers in there I've never seen.
Yes, and some of these flowers have flown as far as Japan to get here. I mean, this have been sourced from all over the world to be here for this special day.
250.
It was 242.19. You win it, John.